For months, astronomers assured us 3 Atlas would be nothing more than a spectacular flyby, a harmless interstellar visitor that would skim past Mars and vanish into the black. But the cosmos doesn't do harmless without reason, and James Webb, our most advanced eye in the void, has just delivered data that flips the narrative upside down. The numbers have changed, the trajectory has shifted, and now, for the first time, scientists are whispering the one thing no one wanted to hear: 3 Atlas might hit Mars. But this isn't just about a comet. This is about precision maneuvers, clock-like gas pulses, and an object that behaves less like a rock and more like a spacecraft. The deeper you go into the data, the clearer it becomes. 3 Atlas is not drifting, it's steering, adjusting, targeting, and the red planet is directly in its path, whatever this thing is. It's not done with our solar system. Let's dive in. When 3 Atlas was first spotted on July 1st, it looked like any other interstellar interloper, a fast-moving blurb with a glowing coma, traveling at speeds never before recorded for an inbound object, nearly 87 kilometers per second relative to the Sun. At that speed, it crosses the Earth-Moon distance in under 80 minutes. But what stunned scientists wasn't its velocity, it was its behavior. Comets typically slow, fragment, or stabilize as they approach the inner system, but 3 Atlas began accelerating, subtly but consistently. And even more disturbing, its trajectory began tightening. Slight course corrections became evident, and the object's coma, its surrounding halo of gas and dust, doubled in brightness within weeks. Spectral analysis revealed intense spikes in ultraviolet energy and CO outgassing at rates never seen before in any comet. It was acting less like a drifting chunk of frozen rock and more like a guided missile. And that's when Webb's deep field sensors caught something that changed everything. Rhythmic pulses coming from the tail, not chaotic jets from sunlight melting ice, but deliberate thrusts in perfect 17-minute intervals, a pattern, a signal, a maneuver. As Webb, Gemini South, and NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory continued tracking the object, the numbers started telling a terrifying story. What was once a near miss had become something far more dangerous, a revised impact distance of just 1.95 million kilometers from Mars, a hair's breadth on the cosmic scale, and worse still, simulations showed that even 10 kilometers per second of added velocity, a fraction of what's already being measured in those gas pulses, could be enough to shift its path into a direct hit. Think about that. Just a nudge, a whisper of thrust, and Mars becomes ground zero. This level of control is unheard of in natural bodies. It's as if 3 Atlas is using its own outgassing as microthrusters, adjusting its approach like a spacecraft would. Even more disturbing, those thrusts are perfectly aligned with the planet's orbital plane.
Scientists aren't just tracking an object anymore. They're watching it aim, and the window for impact keeps narrowing. Between September 19th and 30th, any single outburst could be the one that pushes it over the edge. It's no longer just amateur theorists or sci-fi enthusiasts sounding the alarm. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb and his team have published a paper proposing something bold: 3 Atlas may be an engineered probe. The data backs them up. Radar bounces from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter and Goldstone antennas returned metallic echoes, not the soft, watery signatures of typical comets. Inside sources from NASA describe the radar reflections as unlike anything we've ever seen. Add to that the green, needle-like streams seen in amateur high-exposure images, 3 glowing beams converging toward Mars, pulsing in sync with the exhaust vents, and the picture becomes undeniable. This object is not behaving naturally. Loeb suggests a scenario where 3 Atlas could be deliberately targeting Mars, to crash or worse, to deliver something. Probes, signals, spores. Whatever it is, it's not a coincidence. Mars is being approached with surgical intent, and humanity is caught watching an operation we barely understand unfold before our eyes. What happens if it hits? The answer is almost incomprehensible. With a mass estimated at 10 billion tons and a speed of 57 kilometers per second relative to Mars, an impact would unleash more than 2 million megatons of energy, thousands of times the most powerful nuclear detonation in Earth's history. The crater would be 60 kilometers wide, 5 kilometers deep, and would scatter debris across Mars' orbit, some of which could be ejected into interplanetary space. And yes, that means some of it could eventually reach Earth. But the consequences go far beyond just rock and dust. Mars is home to dozens of scientific assets, rovers, orbiters, experiments searching for life, climate records spanning decades. An impact wouldn't just destroy machines, it would erase decades of research, blind communication arrays, and possibly ignite contamination events we are wholly unprepared for. ESA, Roscosmos, CNSA, and JAXA have all initiated planetary defense discussions, not against an alien fleet, but against a single object behaving just a little too much like a vehicle. For years, scientists have speculated that Mars once had life and perhaps still harbors it deep beneath its rusty surface. Subsurface lakes, dormant microbes, ancient ecosystems locked beneath permafrost. It's one of the primary reasons we've sent so many rovers, orbiters, and landers. But if 3 Atlas strikes, all of that becomes a biological unknown. The extreme heat of impact wouldn't just vaporize the surface. It would crack open deeper layers of Martian crust, exposing reservoirs we've never reached. And if 3 Atlas carries organic molecules, or worse, synthetic biology embedded in its outgassing trails,